Hi, subscribers. Okay, so really quick update. I'm going to be changing channel soon. So, yeah, like keep a lookout for which handle I'm going to be using, but it's not going to be this one. But while we're here and while I wait for my actual channel that I'm going to use to make going live available for me, which will basically be tomorrow. Um, Tune in for tonight's live. So, I'm Jamise, and I help people get unstuck. And right now, my focus is on helping people who are in jobs that they don't enjoy and at companies that they wanted to move on from um, get unstuck so they can move on and have more peace and fulfillment in their lives and in their careers. So tonight's live, as you can see from the topic, is on the most common and costly mistake that job seekers make and the mistake that you want to avoid making. And I related it to like shopping at TJ Maxx or Marshalls. Shopping for a job or looking for a job is you shouldn't do in a job search what you do in Marshalls. You probably go in, you don't have a lot of clarity, you're browsing, you're spending time, you're oohing and ahhing and ooh, look at that, and ah, let me go over here. And it's like, no, you need a very specific, clear plan, action plan. What are you coming in for? Get it and get out. And so I'm going to take you through the common mistakes that you make and the ways that you treat the job search, like you're shopping at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and what to do instead so that you can stop wasting time and stop wasting money and stop wasting your life in a job that you would like to move on from. So, when I think about the lack of clarity that I had when I was first changing jobs, the first job change I made very early in my career was um, an internal team change. So I was at a company in the financial services industry, and the team I was working on, I no longer enjoyed, and I wanted to move on to something else. And I got my resume and stuff together, talked to people internally, and then I eventually fumbled my way into a new job. Now, what I knew was that the new job, which I enjoyed, I eventually would want to do something different. But when that time came, if I didn't want to struggle the way I struggled to get that job, I was going to need to find some help in the form of a career coach. And because the change I wanted to make this time was not an internal team change, it was an external team change, I was going to need to find external help. And so, if right now you have changed jobs and changed teams internally, but you find that the company you're at, the industry you're in, and the different teams you're trying out are not quite a fit, and it's time to change and do something different. Like I went from financial services to tech. I went from financial education to user experience research. And the skills that I applied from one job to the next were transferable, but the job title was different. If that's a change that you're looking to make, be sure to check out the links below in the description to go deeper on any of the topics that we're going to cover tonight. So I mentioned lack of clarity. Related to lack of clarity is a lack of specificity. You will hear people say that they want to change jobs and they want to move on, go to a new company, new industry, and when they describe what they want to do, it sounds specific. Like, yeah, you want to change jobs, you don't want to work here anymore, but that's actually pretty vague. If you think about a job is not just one thing. A job is not just your manager. A job is not just your coworkers. A job is not just your job title. And a job is not just how much you make. It is those things and other things combined that determine what your experience is like at work. Yes, who your manager is, but who your manager's manager is can matter too. Yes, what industry you're in, but if you're client facing, it can matter what type of clients. Are they internal clients or external clients, employees, or are they large corporations, mid-sized corporations? And those different factors can drastically influence what your experience is like with work. And here's an example. when I worked as a user experience researcher in tech, I had an opportunity to work with marketers and advertisers outside the company I worked for. I also had a chance to work with everyday people like you and me, and then I had a chance to work with internal employees. And each one of those experiences were different. Internal employees, when um, announcements were made at the company and employees were freaking out, then the customers or the clients who I work with were freaking out. With external individuals like you and me, when the stock market was down, they were down, right? But then I found that when I was working with marketers and advertisers, they were just always up because they're like, yeah, I got to test this, I got to run this, I got to do this, I have a job to get done. And they were just very clear and very focused. And so you might find that of the different client types you could work with, internal or external, you have a preference. And getting that specific about the type of work you want to do matters and is important too. And the last one I mentioned is that you often lack a time frame and you don't have like any time bounds around your job search. So when you think about setting a goal, that's what a job search is. It has a start date and it has an end date. And it takes on average someone about 6 months to find a job. And when working with an expert and someone who's done it before, you can often get it done even sooner, 21 days, 30 days, or sometimes even less, because that's what having clarity gets you. But for people who don't have a time frame that they're working toward, you'll find that they've been searching for jobs for more than 6 months, for a year, more than a year, 2 years, 3 years plus. And then they are often also abandoning the job search. So it's an off and on process, which generally speaking, that's not a job search process. Um, and so you want your job search process to be time bound. And 3 to 6 months is typically the sweet spot. And if it's taking you more than 3 to 6 months, or you have changed jobs internally and you struggle, and now you're ready to change jobs externally without the struggle, then definitely check out the links below to sign up for my free newsletter and to also go deeper on this topic, because the main reason why I hired a career coach and the main reason why I joined mastermind groups and work with experts to help me in my job search was because I did not want to waste time. I wanted to go from where I wanted to go from where I was to where I wanted to be in as little time as possible. And that's what clarity, specificity, strategy, and working with experts will help you accomplish and do. Because a lot of it is mindset. And I remember one coach, the way she put it, she said that mindset eats strategy every time. So I can, on this channel, I can give you all the free game. I can give you all the strategy, all the frameworks, all the clarity. But once you start your job search process and you're in the thick of things and your manager says this or your coworker says that or the interviewer says this, the recruiter doesn't respond, when the enemy starts to try to creep in and lie to you about what is possible, what's not possible, it is that in between part that job seekers most struggle with, and not seeking help and support is the biggest mistake that folks make. And so if you would like to receive support, definitely subscribe to my channel and like this video. Um, and yeah, tell me in the comments what's been the biggest challenge for you in your job search, or why are you still in a job that you no longer enjoy, and why have you not moved on yet? I will catch you guys in my next live. Bye.